I'm Darren with Akshon Esports, and this is Akshon Recap, the show where we highlight various stories ongoing within the esports community. Among all of the stories that are running through the Overwatch League, from Dallas Fuel's roster issues to the decline of Seoul Dynasty, there is one that remains unchanged. That is the historic journey of the Shanghai Dragons that may be unrivaled for the remainder of the Overwatch League history as the holders of the worst record ever seen, with no wins to their name. All three analysts on the desk last night predicted for the Dragons to defeat Fuel and mark the end of an unprecedented 0-20 run, but once again the faith of their fans who've been believing in the Dragons since stage 1 was awarded with yet another series loss, with their season record going 0-21. Now with 19 more games to go this season, more than half of the journey is over, but not all hope is lost. While, yes, the Dragons have only taken one map compared to the past two stages, in the Dallas match, Shanghai was setting up for fights better without the same reckless diving and oddly positioned supports we've been seeing all season. When things take a turn for the worse after someone gets picked, the Dragons were not feeding free kills as much as before to become an ultimate charge farm. Most notably, they had some successful dives with good Dragon Blades. Having Addo and Fearless has shifted the entire dynamic of the team, as the Dragons proved that they can now play more styles of a dive with less of an issue being with individual mechanics and more so now team play moving forward. Geguri also had a strong Junkertown performance despite the immense amount of pressure placed on her. Hopefully she stays strong and doesn't succumb to the unfair expectations placed on her shoulders. Now, where can the Dragons hope to improve? Many would agree that Daemin and Sky's overall performances were disappointing. It might be because of how new he is to the team, but compared to other Tracer players like Striker, Daemin needs to put in more work to ensure he is on par at an Overwatch League level, while Sky's issues seem to be more related to poor comms and weird decision making. For example, an awkward transcendence on Volskaya opened up the map for Dallas to go in fully aggressively, and his inability to stave off effect on Nubani left his team without a healer during critical junctures. In retrospect, Sky did appear to do a better job than Alter Ring, 5king, and Free Feel as a support who has been able to assist his DPS with more Discord and Harmony orbs, which is one of the main weaknesses of the Dragons for the first two stages. So moving forward, the Dragons have a strong offensive lineup, but will need to look into beefing up their ability to come back from a deficit and the defense as a whole if they want to take home their first win of the season. On the flip side, while Dallas may have had a strong debut with Unco starting stage 3 with a win, Effect was not so happy heading into the match, as seen in how he didn't give high fives during the walk-in. He took to Twitter after the match to update his fans on his mindset. Quote, "When the three analysts on stream chose Shanghai as the winner, I was pissed off and went inside the arena thinking I will kill everyone." This is referring to everyone in game against the Dragons. I wasn't able to think of the fan high fives because I was mad. Also, I almost lost my tempter after losing one map. I am very disappointed that at some point we became regarded as a team that would lose out to Shanghai. Looking back, I believe my attitude was a problem, so I will be more careful as possible from now on. On a lighter note, it seems that the Dallas Fuel DPS player got engaged to his girlfriend Senika last week after posing a picture of the two with matching rings. He recently showed his ring off on stage to the delight of casters and fans alike.
That it still has potential here. Like, you look at these players that they've got: Effect, AKM, Mickey, Seagull, Uncle, the whole roster.
What was that? What was that? Showing the ring?
It's like with the girlfriend, like a promise kind of thing. It's a promise ring.
With how players have now become internet celebrities, we can probably expect more relationships to blossom in the near future. For our next story of the day, it seems that Philadelphia Fusion's Eco has found himself in hot water and will receive punishment from his team for using a racist gesture during a recent stream on his personal Twitch channel. While streaming over the weekend and talking with his Twitch chat, Eco responded to a comment about his ethnicity. He jokingly said that he was Korean and pulled back his eyes to emulate the stereotype that people of Asian descent have small eyes. For context, Eco was speaking with his Korean fans at the time and did not appear to harbor any ill intent with his gesture, but this does not eliminate the fact that this action carries an offensive connotation.
Wait, what? You're not Korean, so you're not my hyung? I'm Korean.
Once the clip began circulating around social media, the LA Gladiators' Asher called Eco out on Twitter with a tweet expressing his displeasure at the gesture. Before the situation could escalate, Philadelphia Fusion president Tucker Roberts apologized on Eco's behalf, saying that internal discipline would be forthcoming. A few days later, the Fusion made public that Eco has been suspended for 3 matches and fined $2,000 by Philadelphia Fusion, in addition to having his streaming privileges revoked until June 17th. Furthermore, Furthermore, the Overwatch League office itself has announced that they have fined the player $1,000 for violating the Overwatch League's code of conduct. In light of this news, ECO will be donating $3,000 to the Anti-Defamation League's No Place for Hate campaign, alongside the extra $5,000 donated by Philadelphia Fusion, for a total of $10,000 worth of donations going to the ADL. ECO later apologized for his actions in an open letter and tweets on Twitter. Quote, "At the time, I wasn't aware that this might offend anyone. If you watch my stream, you will probably know that I love Koreans, and all I do is compliment them all the time. This gesture was never with the intention to mock someone. Obviously, I apologize to anyone that got offended. This clip is out of context a bit since I was complimenting the Koreans before the clip, and after the clip I did the gesture more in a form of wanting to express myself being like them since I admire them, not making fun." Now, moving on to some interesting news from the Overwatch forums, Jeff Kaplan busted one of the most classic myths in Overwatch that we've all suspected at one point in time or actually believed to be an undeniable truth until now. Kaplan revealed that leaving a match early when you get the victory defeat message on your screen doesn't actually get you into the next game any faster. Quote, "You don't get entered into the matchmaking queue until your previous match resolves completely. Most people leave at the victory defeat because they think that they are speeding up, getting into the next match." Out of curiosity, how many of you are guilty of this? I know I myself have done this several times, hoping it would speed up my process to get in queue for another match. As always, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. For our last story of the day, Jeff Kaplan revealed more details on the upcoming Overwatch Retribution event after Game 2 between the Valiant and Dynasty. There are plenty of videos covering this with deep dives into speculation, but to sum it up, Retribution is a PvE event similar to last year's Uprising that will take players back in time playing as Blackwatch on their mission in Venice, Italy, where they encountered the Agents of Talon. The event will play out on Rialto, which Kaplan announced will also be the next payload map coming to Overwatch, but set in the daytime instead of late at night. Rialto needs to go through the typical new map process before it enters Overwatch's quick play and competitive modes, so you can test out on the PTR relatively soon while the bugs are being worked out. And with that, that's all for this installment of Action Recap. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of our other content, and be sure to hit the bell to join our notification squad and stay up to date on all of our latest releases. Otherwise, be sure to follow our Facebook and Twitter pages to stay up to date on all of our content. This has been Darren with Action Esports, and we'll see you in the next one.